So hello, I'm here with Russ Timpson. Hi Russ, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself then?
Yeah, okay, for people that hopefully will need to know about me when it comes around to next May, I'm the prospective parliamentary candidate for Thanet South for the Liberal Democrats. I live locally. I am a businessman. I run an engineering consultancy. Prior to that I was in Kent Fire Brigade. I was a firefighter in Thanet, and way back when I was in the Royal Navy. I was a submariner back in the days of the Cold War.
Right, okay. I've noticed that you've got a particular interest in Manston. What are your thoughts about that at the moment?
I think, you know, the big issue that confronts Thanet is one of jobs and hope for the people here, and the lack of availability of high quality jobs that are going to pay a meaningful wage. And I think Manston is a very real asset for this area, and it could provide those jobs that are desperately needed. I think it's frankly crazy that we're about to rip up a runway for an airport when we've got massive development coming into Kent, and it's an opportunity that, you know, it's a unique opportunity. I'm sure there are many places around the country where they'd love to build an airport of the calibre of Manston.
So you're definitely saying Manston. What do you think is going to be what's your vision for what it should turn into now?
Well, drawing on some of my previous experience in both airlines and airports, I think that there's scope for an ancillary airport that can provide engineering jobs, training jobs for ground handlers, for engineers, airframes, avionics, engines, aircraft recycling, freight, and a lot of the services that they would struggle to provide in some of the big London airports because of capacity.
All right, okay. Let's have a little think about some of the other local issues. What's your opinion on fracking then?
At the Liberal Democrat conference we discussed this in depth, and we concluded that we would make an evidence-based decision on risk and benefit. Wouldn't rule it in or out per se, we'd look at the evidence. And after listening and going to several meetings and listening to local geologists and seeing some of the evidence about the risks to local aquifers, it's my opinion, as an engineer as well, that the risk to the local aquifers outweighs the benefits. So I'm against fracking in East Kent.
You are against it, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Looking at some of the other local issues, what are your thoughts on the old Pleasure Armour site?
I think, you know, if you stand over that site, Paynes Waterloo, and look down over the Pleasure Armour beach, it's just very, very sad that that site has sat there for something around 11 years, and it's an eyesore. And anybody that visits that beautiful harbour of Ramsgate and then looks around the corner at that Pleasure Armour beach, and then you tell them it's sat there for 11 years, would be staggered. So I don't understand why it's sat there for so long and unproductive.
And you think it should be developed, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, then final question. There's a few thoughts on TDC. What do you think about that? What's the answer for TDC?
My big appeal, and hopefully this will reach many people, is, you know, lots of people criticise Thanet District Council, and some would say they've got a lot to be criticised about. I would like to turn that round and say, instead of criticising, I'd like a few more people to put their hands up and say, I'm going to stand as a councillor, I'm going to make a difference, and get some fresh people in to make a difference for Thanet. As Oscar Wilde once said, you know, 80% of people criticise, the other 20% do. I look to a few more people to be doers rather than criticisers.
Brilliant stuff. Russ, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure we'll hear from you again.